I feel like the question that people ask me the most, not just other wheelchair users, but just people who are curious, is how do you take the subway in New York City as a wheelchair user? As a disclaimer, I'm a manual wheelchair user because my power chair is not equipped for the New York City subway, I unfortunately learned. The first thing you need to do is go to MTA accessibility and look at all of the stations where trains have long-term elevator outages, and just know not to go to those places. And people always say check the app, but I think it's important to just know off the top of your head things like, okay, DeKalb is not an option for me. Then if you want, you can also look at the MTA map that just shows what stations are accessible, and you'll notice there's a lot less than stations that are accessible. And they always say 1/3 of stations are wheelchair accessible, but that can't be true if elevators are always getting taken offline. Like, it's less than 1/3. Now that you know where you can't go, it's important to know where you can go. So let's check out that MTA app, and that's going to tell me real-time power outages of elevators. It's going to tell me when they're going to be complete, and sometimes these long-term outages get pushed back like 3 months, so you get to the day on the app, oh, it's supposed to be live, it's 11:14, this is supposed to be live, and then 11:14 comes and they push it back 3 months. That happens all the time. When I plan how to get to places, I always add an extra half hour to 20 minutes if I'm running late before, because you never know when you're gonna get to a subway station and suddenly the elevator's out, and it didn't say that on the app because it like just went out. This happened to me the other day at Broadway Lafayette. I get there and the elevator doors just like were not opening. It was annoying. If you're ever struggling to figure out where to go next because maybe you're kicked off at a station that's inaccessible, which has happened to me, or maybe you get off at a station and you're not sure what direction the elevator is in because it doesn't say on the floor in front of you, the person that you're going to be by, the MTA employee, is right there, because when you go on the train, you go on the train at wheelchair boarding. So there's a special place in the middle of the track called the boarding area, and that's where you get on the train, and it's awesome because the MTA employee has to be there too. So if you're ever like, oh, I don't know where boarding is, well, go find the conductor, like where the conductor pokes their head out or the MTA employee pokes their head out, that's where you need to go. And it's also under like the zebra stripes as well, so that's like another indicator of where boarding is. But that's where you'll be, and they'll be very, very helpful and very, very accommodating if you run into any issues. And I think that kind of sums up everything that I could possibly tell you, other than the fact that the gap is very big. So sometimes I do have to wheel myself backwards, and when I get onto the train itself, people are usually accommodating and they'll move for you, but people do have headphones in, so sometimes you just gotta like slap a backpack, but you'll do fine. And like, ask me any more questions if something specific comes to mind, but I hope you have fun.